Today is Chad Priest, and this is Giving Tuesday. The American Red Cross is bringing hope to families across the country in 2025. Volunteers help thousands affected by wildfires, tornadoes, floods, and home fires, providing shelter, meals, emotional support, and roughly $124 million in financial assistance. Even as disasters fade from the headlines, everyday emergencies continue. Joining us to discuss this vital work is Chad Priest, Vice President of Humanitarian Services at the American Red Cross, who will share how volunteers and donors are helping families recover and how you can make a difference this holiday season. So, Chad, thanks again for stopping by. This year, disasters have devastated communities of all kinds in the U.S., from massive wildfires in major cities like Los Angeles to severe flooding in remote areas like Alaska. How has the Red Cross responded to help people?
Thank you, Neil, for having me. You're right. It has been a devastating year for tens and thousands of families across the United States, not only for the disasters you mentioned at the start, but we've had major flooding throughout the central United States, wildfires throughout South California, and severe storms even in Pittsburgh just last spring. In each case, the American Red Cross was there thanks to the support of our donors and our volunteers, providing food, shelter, financial assistance, and hope.
All right. Well, how has the Red Cross addressing different disaster needs in the communities?
Well, every community is different, and so we tailor our response to the needs of the communities where we are. And we're able to do that in large part because our workforce is made up of volunteers. Nearly 90% of our workers are volunteers, and they come from communities just like yours. For example, following really bad tornadoes in St. Louis last year, I was in one of our shelters, and it was a typical scene in that shelter, but it never fails to move me. Red Cross volunteers working alongside local church members in the basement of this church. Neighbors just showed up to help. And what you saw was this patchwork of assistance delivered by neighbors, providing food, shelter, clothing, financial assistance, but also just someone to talk to. We're also able to tailor the financial assistance we give to families. We distributed over $130 million last year to tens and thousands of people, allowing them agency over how they began their recovery.
Wow. And it's got to feel good to be part of the Red Cross, isn't it?
You know, I work with a colleague who told me and reminds me daily, this is work we get to do. And I absolutely feel that way. It is not my work. I simply steward the work of our volunteers, and it's indeed an honor to do it.
What is the most common disaster that you respond to in the U.S.?
Well, without a doubt, it's home fires. And during the holiday season, we'll have about 20% more of those fires to respond to. So Neil, imagine this. You are standing outside your house, huddled with your family, after a really tragic fire. Think about nearly everything you own, every memory you had destroyed behind you. And as the firefighters are reeling up their hoses, along comes a Red Cross volunteer, some neighbor of yours who you probably never have met, in a red vest. And they're there to give you a hug, a blanket, financial assistance to get you through the next few days, things like food, going to a hotel, getting clothes so that your kids can get back to school. You know, we do that every 8 minutes in the United States. And during the holiday season, we're going to do that about 40,000 times. And so while we're going to be with family and friends, maybe enjoying holiday meals, volunteers, by the way, like my dad, who is a volunteer where I live here in Indiana, are out responding to these events. It is truly a great example of neighbors helping neighbors.
And how do they respond quickly, like the Red Cross, when a disaster happens, even if it's a small disaster in just a little community?
Well, our relationships in the community drive our ability to respond. So fire departments call the Red Cross hundreds and thousands of times a week. They call a central dispatch center, and from there, volunteer dispatchers send out neighbors to go to your place. And we can be in just about every zip code in the United States pretty darn quick.
That's great, especially when sometimes that's the only way that they're going to get help. And that's why it's so great to donate to the Red Cross and be part and volunteer. Responding to U.S. disasters is just one thing that the Red Cross does. What are other needs you have seen this year?
Well, emergencies take many forms. If you're a military member serving overseas and you need to be connected with your family member, or perhaps you're a patient battling cancer and you need a life-saving blood transfusion, the Red Cross is there for all of those things. Again, relying on donors and volunteers to make it happen.
Absolutely. And getting these volunteers involved, this is a process, isn't it? What you do at the Red Cross, right? To get these volunteers all these communities.
Yeah, you're right. But listen, so many people want to raise their hand to help their community. Our job is to steward their experience, make sure that they can leverage the power of the Red Cross to help their neighbors. And it's really a joy to get to do so.
So how can people help those in need this holiday season?
Well, you can make a donation to the Red Cross by going to redcross.org. And you can also schedule a blood appointment by going to redcross.org to donate blood near where you live.
Oh, wow. So there's multiple ways that you can help this season. This is a great way, a donation to maybe make it in someone else's as a gift for this holiday season as well.
Absolutely. And when you donate online, you'll have the option to do just that. You can make a gift in memory or in honor of someone that you love or care about. It makes an outstanding gift.
All right. Well, again, redcross.org, right? Is that correct? Where people can go?
Redcross.org.
All right. Thanks again, Chad. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Neil. Pleasure to be with you.
You're welcome. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.